The final instalment of the Hobbit trilogy has premiered in London and also at a special screening in Wellington. Fans joined local film crew and cast to celebrate the end of an era at the Roxy cinema. Briar Wells was there.
London's red carpet done on a smaller scale in Wellington. But that didn't stop die-hard fans from queuing up.
We've been waiting to see this movie for such a long time. It'll be amazing. But it's also going to be heartbreaking, definitely.
Fans mingling with production crew and cast, who are perhaps not recognisable out of costume.
It's never really over for the people who were involved in it. I mean, because of what we went through together, particularly the dwarves, I think, because of just what we were wearing and how we had to present ourselves. It's something that will stay with us for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
How shall this day end?
The Middle-earth Odyssey is coming to an end after a journey of 16 years and 6 movies.
At some level that's very sad. At another level we should be proud that we've been able to share these amazing stories through film with the world audience.
If I finish it.
Putting our scenery and landscapes centre stage one last time, the movie's attracting fans who want to see the real Middle-earth for themselves.
In the last year, 13% of all our international holiday visitors said that The Hobbit was an influence on their decision to come to New Zealand. So that's an incredible achievement from a trilogy of movies.
Well, I watched Lord of the Rings, the first one, when I was 18, and since I was like 20, I started planning, like, okay, I want to go to these places.
And while it's the end of an era for some...
Not for the fans, it'll always go on. You know, you've still got the books. You know, how many times can you read a book?
Other fans will have to wait a bit to catch the adventure. The movie out in cinemas on the 11th. Briar Wells, One News.
Well, the stars sang the praises of New Zealand as they strutted down the green carpet at the world premiere of the final Hobbit movie in London. For Kiwi director Sir Peter Jackson, it's the final piece in a project that spans 2 decades. Here's Europe correspondent Jessica Much.
For the fans and the cast, this premiere marks the end of an era.
I was 21 when I went out to do Lord of the Rings. You know, and I'm 37 now.
This is our last time. And now it's playing the music, as I'm saying, as I'm getting emotional. This is the last time we'll be together. So it's quite momentous, really, yeah.
This was the last move in a master plan.
The Battle of the Five Armies is the third of 3 Hobbit movies. They follow the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
The world premiere of The Hobbit is taking place right here in Leicester Square, in the heart of London's theatre district. Some of the fans have been waiting for hours to catch a glimpse of their favourite star.
Excited. I'm freezing, but this is worth freezing for.
All the way from New York, I just love everything about Tolkien. It's just so cool to be in London, where, you know, like, he was here, and it's so amazing.
For Sir Peter Jackson, the love affair with the book started when he was a teenager.
I mean, we have the greatest cast, and the fact that they're all friends now. You know, even though we're coming to the end of the journey of these films, you know, we've made friends that are going to be friends for decades to come.
And memories of filming in New Zealand.
Spending some quality time in New Zealand has been a big part of this experience for me, and getting to travel around the place and camp and hike and kind of see what inspired Peter Jackson about his home.
I mean, I see pictures of New Zealand behind me and think what a wonderful time I've had there.
It's set to be the final premiere for a set of movies that have become synonymous with New Zealand. Jessica Much, One News, London.
And we'll have the New Zealand premiere later in the news hour when we also look at the huge economic impact Sir Peter Jackson's movies have had on the country.
Well, the reign's over for Sir Peter Jackson's Tolkien movies.
Will you follow me? One last time.
So what's left for Wellywood? We explore that next on One News. And the stars of the final Hobbit movie are calling it the end of an era as they walk to the green carpet for the world premiere of the Battle of the Five Armies in London. For Kiwi director Sir Peter Jackson, it's the last piece of 2 Tolkien-inspired trilogies in 16 years.
So what'll life be like for the adopted Middle-earth in the wake of the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies? Daniel Faitawa looks at what Sir Peter Jackson's obsession has created for Wellywood.
London's premiere done on a smaller scale in Wellington, but still giving die-hard Hobbit fans a rewarding end to the final pilgrimage.
It was amazing.
You're going to cry.
Yes.
Definitely going to cry.
Take 3 boxes of tissues at least.
6 films in over a decade. Today's event marks the end of an era. The Wellington film community have gathered here to celebrate their hard work in bringing Middle-earth to life.
One day I'll remember.
It may be just a movie to some, but Hobbit Mania pours $100 million into New Zealand's economy, most of that coming through Wellington.
The tourism sector is now worth $24 billion in New Zealand. It grew by $1.1 billion in the last year. A decent chunk of that can be attributed back to The Hobbit.
2 years ago, The Hobbit brought thousands to the capital for its world premiere. 300,000 fans make the trek to Matamata's Hobbiton every year. The Tolkien trilogies have fans around the world, but the true heart of this fantasy lies with Wellington.
And Wellington as a city continues to support and help make these movies, and that's what it should be about, communal effort to create incredible things that share our story with the world.
As a 16-year odyssey comes to an end, Wellywood is firmly on the world map, with future projects well underway.
Making our own television with the Thunderbirds, making new films for new clients.
All hoping to cash in on those mighty tourism dollars. Daniel Faitau, One News.
Bagu kundo mishi bagu.
9 for mortal men doomed to die.
Dunikan marka. Umidishu. Ashir. Borzumishi.
I am not alone.
Are you in need of assistance, my lady? You should have stayed dead.